So today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to build your lifestyle agency, the simple, low overhead, overwhelm free agency model. And as we go through this, if you guys could remember to keep your mics muted, that is awesome. I'm hosting this as a meeting because I want to be able to see you after we're done with this, see you, talk to you, and deliver as much value as possible. My name is Sam Carlson. I am one of the co-founder of a company called UpHex. I have also been an agency owner for about 9 years. 6 months ago, sold my agency, but spent 9 years in the agency space. And in that time, not only did I build an agency that I coined as a lifestyle agency, which frankly was an agency that had over 100 customers and was run by 2 part-time VAs. And it took less than 10 hours per week of my time to manage. And if I'm honest, the average is probably lower than that because mostly it was me attending meetings and then, doing whatever. So that agency is what we're going to talk about here today. So if you're here to learn how to build an agency like that, give me a 2 in the chat. I don't want to stick with 1s because, if we just make you guys creatures of habit, then you're not going to learn anything. All right, we got the 2s. Okay, so we're all here for the right reasons. Okay. And then Matt says 22. Martin says 2,200,222. I think I said that right. All right, so let's get moving. Here we go. So a few weeks ago, and actually I guess now it's been a couple weeks ago, Tammy Critch, one of our awesome members, posted in our Facebook group this awesome post about her experience with a program we have called Agency MVP, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And here was a line from that post that I think is really important for anyone feeling the pinch of agency overwhelm. This program is a beacon of hope. The practical wisdom and the straightforward approach to cracking the scaling code are eye-opening, right? If you want to see the whole post, jump in, search Tammy into our Facebook community and search that. But here's the truth. Agency owners today are more confused than ever. If you agree with me that agency owners today are more confused than ever, give me a 1 in the chat. Give me a 1 in the chat if you've seen stuff. It's been 6 months. Yes, 1. All right. It's been 6 months. I still don't have any clients. I love the platform. Open to all suggestions at this point. Starting my SaaS now for about 7 months. Still finding it difficult to get my first client, blah, blah, blah. And then this one right here. I'm completely disappointed with myself now. I'm completely disappointed with myself. It's been 6 months now having a high level and still not working, reaching my goal. I know the high level is an amazing tool, but there is some stuff missing here. What am I missing? Right now, the real frustration, you guys, and I think this is a hidden frustration, is one, a person will ask a question like, what is the secret sauce that people are not sharing to hit these goals? Do you guys feel like there's secret sauce that people are hiding from you? Give me a 2 if you feel like there is a secret sauce that people are gatekeeping from knowing. Okay, we got some 2s rolling in. All right. Well, before we talk about gatekeeping the secret sauce, here's what a lot of people think it takes to succeed. Well, based on, he wants to know what the secret sauce is. And so 360 people commented and they gave him things like, try video marketing. I've been doing LinkedIn gen. It's a numbers game. Are these the silver bullets? Are these the secret sauces? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that answers like this are, in fact, the secret sauce? We got to know. They're not sharing the sauce. They're not sharing the sauce on YouTube. No, right? You guys, none of these are the answer. And if you're looking for answers and you're doing it in communities, that can be a horrible place to sift through noise and value. In mid-2023, I did a survey. I was looking at our customer base at UpHex. And for those of you who are UpHex customers, we have 3 price points: a $97 per month, a $297, and a $397. And the $97 per month, that particular price point is based on how many customers you have, 0 to 3 customers. And the churn rate right there was not good. I'll be honest with you. I'll be very transparent. I was not happy with the churn rate that I was seeing. But our $297 and our $497, solid. When people use UpHex and they get customers launching their own ads, man, they keep customers. And it's awesome. But I wanted to do something about this $97 price point. And so I did a survey, and here is what I found. I found that people fell into one of two buckets. Bucket number one, can you guess what it is? I ain't got no clients. I understand that. It's hard to pay your bills if you don't have any clients. Agree? Give me one if you agree that it's hard to pay your bills if you don't have any clients, right? Unless you have a side job or unless you have a full-time job and you're doing this as a side hustle, it is hard to fund. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, now this one snuck up on me in an interesting way. I didn't see this one coming, I'll be honest. Number two is I am overwhelmed. You guys, please mic your mutes. I can't go through and mute everybody. Okay. Agency overwhelmed. And boy, you guys, were they overwhelmed. In fact, I did a survey, and here's some of the lines that people would give me. Okay. Overwhelmed, getting my first client, setting up lead magnets, setting the damn thing up, too many half implementations, initial setup, being overwhelmed. Okay. How to start, creating workflows, setting up GHL, finding good clients, onboarding, lead gen, automated close VSL, walkthrough, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that one thing, 6 months, no clients, narrowing down to one, service delivery, outreach, getting clients. I got a lot of responses. Some of the consistent ones, not sure what or how to sell. Not sure how to start. Not sure what to offer. Getting clients is hard. Overwhelmed by all of these tools and all of this learning. In fact, if you want to have a good time, go ahead and go over the high-level community and search the word overwhelm. It's a good exercise. All right. We're going to have, I can't be a mute guy the whole time here. We're going to have to do something about this audio, guys. Please mute your audio. All right. All right, let me ask you a question. How many of you guys feel overwhelmed? Give me a one if you feel currently at your state, currently being a one. All right. Enough of you. Actually, quite a few. I get it. Well, here's the good news. Today, the journey to clarity begins. And that is not just, those aren't empty words. I want to make a promise. By the end of this workshop, you will know exactly what to do next and see both, well, all the first, second, and third steps of your journey clearly. Okay. And whether you're new or you've been at this game for a while, this is for you. You're in the right place. So here's what we're going to cover today. Number one, the number one cause of agency failure and how to flip the success formula in your favor. Okay. Number two, sales, sales, sales. How to remove past failure in sales and make sense. Make sales effortless. How many of you guys, by giving me a one in the chat, have either failed at sales, you feel like you suck at sales, you feel like selling is a lost cause for you? Give me a one in the chat if that is you. We got a bunch of sales geniuses in here. What are we doing? My sales? Wow, they just all came in. Okay, internet must be a little latent. Sorry about that. Okay. And then finally, the agency hack to go from agency confusion and overwhelm to agency clarity in just weeks. You guys ready to go? You guys ready to rock and roll? Give me a two. Give me a two if you are ready to go. All right. You guys are ready to go. All right. Secret number one, the number one cause of agency failure and how to flip the success formula in your favor. Let's do this. Start out with the question. What do you think causes most agency failure? Don't write it. Hold that thought in your head. Okay. I want you to hold that thought in your head because I'm going to ask you to come back to it in just a minute. All right. This is called The Mortgage Broker Who Almost Failed, and the magazine that saved his butt and transformed near failure into financial breakaway success. In 2004, I quit my job. Yes, I used to have hair. That's me, my smoking hot wife, and my firstborn, Cooper. And back in the day, I was a new dad, and I was looking to start my career. I started as an entrepreneur. I have been an entrepreneur since the very beginning, and I really wanted to set out my own. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to provide for my family. I wanted to do all those things. And so I had friends who were in real estate, and they knew that I was looking for a career. They knew that I was looking for something. And they said, you know what, man, you'd be really good at doing mortgages. And if you did mortgages, we would send all of our deals to you. People would love you. We would do it. It's awesome. So I jumped in with both feet, the way I do most of the things in life. I jumped in with both feet, got my license, did my studying, learned all the products, learned all the programs, learned everything I needed to know to get out there and kick butt. And then I said, hey, guys, send me some of them leads. And they're like, oh, well, we just gave this to somebody else. They're working on it now. Oh, we'll get you some when we get you some. Basically, they didn't have any leads for me. Listen, they were good friends, but some of them were, whatever, big talkers. And so I went to my manager. Her name was Julie. I said, Julie, I know I said I'd have a bunch of leads here, and I know you thought you were hiring a potential rock star, but I got nothing. I don't know how to get any business. What do you think I should do? She said, well, you got to go to real estate agents' offices. You got to, take them to lunch. You got to build those relationships. You got to work. You got to network. You guys, I was 23 or 24. You think seasoned real estate agents wanted to send their loans to a brand new newbie, like trust their financial futures, their clients' financial futures to a 23-year-old? No. So I would go to agents and I would take them to lunch and blow my money and have nothing to show for it and just getting zero deals. And I got to tell you, it felt horrible. I'd quit my job to do this 100% commission job. Okay. And I felt stranded, deserted, alone on an island with nothing to turn to. And then one day something changed. So I was sitting in the lobby of a Century 21 brokerage, and I saw these homes and land real estate books. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? How many of you have seen these where the new listings, these listings are sitting in, like, whether it's at a restaurant or whatever it is. Okay. Okay, cool. So I was sitting there in the lobby and I was thumbing through the pages, feeling bad for myself, thinking, oh man, Lacey Bishop, she's listing $500,000 homes, which back then was a ton. She would never send her deals to me. This person would never send their deals to me. This person, this person, this person. And then all of a sudden, bam, I saw it. Her name was Christina. And she had all of these listings in here, and they were for first-time home buyers. Okay. And the listing said, se habla español. Well, I say habla español, right? And so I had myself an idea. I'm thinking to myself, well, wait a minute. First-time home buyers, those are government loans. Those are hard products that most originators that are seasoned, they don't want to do. And the se habla español, well, that makes it so I can help her because I'm sure she's getting a lot of people rejected and she probably has to do all the translating. So I called her up and I said, hi, Christina. It was a very simple pitch, you guys. It was the first time I ever did a pitch. It was probably one of the most successful pitches I ever did without knowing how to do a pitch. And I said, hi, Christina. My name is Sam Carlson. I specialize in first-time home buyers and I speak Spanish. It looks to me, based on these listings you're doing, that you might have a couple of people that might need some help. If you need anything, send them my way. I'll treat them real good. Boom. 5 deals that day. Just like that. I went from being a sales moron to being a sales genius. And why? Why? What was the difference? Because I finally found something I call a sub niche. Or in other words, the entire time I had been focusing on getting real estate agents. Okay. And real estate agents, there was so much competition at the top. There was so much people just going after the same people. And I had nothing unique to offer. So what did I do that was unique? Well, I layered on first-time home buyers. Now that took out like, I don't know, half of the market. So now I'm only competing with 50%. And then I layered in this one last little piece, Spanish speakers. Now I'm competing with nobody. I literally am competing with almost nobody. Okay. Whereas before I'd been focusing on my niche of real estate agents. You guys, if you think that real estate agents are a niche, I'm sorry to tell you this, that is not a niche. And if you have gone this far in your agency career thinking that that's a niche, nah, it ain't. How many of you guys, and be honest, give me a 2. If you thought that at the category level, that was a niche, give me a 2. Be honest. I'm a real estate broker and I'm hard to sell. Yes, you are too. You see, we got the 2s coming in. You guys, it's okay. And by the way, I appreciate everybody who's like being honest here. That's awesome. Here's the point. Here's the deal, you guys. When you start with a sub niche, your marketing will become easy. Okay. Your offers will become clear. And just like me, all of a sudden, you're going to become an agency genius. Okay. Now, we already did this little exercise that a lot of people don't understand what it is, but I'll just ask you to be honest with yourself. If until this point, you have been focusing on a category, so in this example, real estate agents, it is not enough. You haven't done the work and you will continue to struggle based on the merit of this one principle. All right. So remember that question that I asked you to hold in your brain? How close were you? What do you think causes most agency failure? Answer: no niche or incorrect niche selection. That's also a big one. You have got to niche down. Also, caution, while niching down can make your agency, I should have used a better word than work, scream, go crazy. It can also make or break your agency if done incorrectly. Cool? So that is secret number 1, is proper application of niching down. We don't need to belabor this particular point. I think it's clear. I think people have heard me say it. Honestly, I was at a conference this weekend, and the guy who mentored and trained, you can ask Mr. Beast. You can go and say, hey, Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber on the planet, who is your mentor? And he will say Daryl Eves. I was sitting at a conference with Daryl Eves 2 days ago. And Daryl Eves said, if you don't have a niche, you won't get rich. So it's not just me. Big dogs like Daryl Eves think so too. All right, secret number 2. Who's ready to keep going? You guys excited? Is this good so far? Do you think most clients need leads or need sales training? I don't know, honey. We'll talk about that in the Q&A. All right, sales. How to remove past failures in sales and make sales effortless. Here's another question. Do you want to make a boatload of sales? Do you want to give me one in the chat if you want to make a boatload of sales? Okay. 3 of you do. 4. Okay. A yacht. Gary wants a yacht full. 1, obviously. Okay. Yep. Kim. Awesome. Very good. Well, here's a question I would pose to you. And maybe consciously you haven't spoken this out loud, but I think subconsciously you're going to answer this question in a very interesting way. Here's another question. Do you think there's a secret to sales? I'm talking about big sales, not just selling. Do you think there is a secret? I'm not going to ask you for a 1 or a 2. Just give me an answer. Do you think? Yes or no? Yes or no? There's a yes. Okay. No. Sí. Okay. Español, muy bien. Yes. There's a secret to everything. Oh, Lisa, very good. Yes. Okay. If you said yes, you are right. Seriously, dude, of course there is an easy way to get sales. Dude, you got to tell me, bro, if you need a kidney, it's yours. Just tell me. The difference between like knowing how to sell and not knowing is between having a business and not. Okay. So to tell you what the secret to sales is, we're going to play a fun little game. Okay. A fun little game. Who wants to play Would You Rather? Everybody, give me 1 if you want to play Would You Rather, because it's kind of a fun game. I mean, you could do this. Okay, Lisa wants to. Okay, bring it. All right, here we go. All right. Would you rather, you guys, be the best salesperson ever? I'm talking about you are the bee's knees of sales, or would you rather have an irresistible offer? You have to choose one. Would you rather have an irresistible offer or the best sales ever? Okay. All right. Okay. You guys. Okay. All right. Awesome. You guys, it's got to be the irresistible offer. Why? Why does it have to be the irresistible offer? Okay. I will tell you right now, The irresistible offer will beat the salesperson each and every single time. Sam. Okay, sounds good. Your words sound very confident, but you have to back this up, dude. All right, let me do it. Let's look at this. The best salesperson is limited to one thing. Only one person can sell. With an irresistible offer, anyone can sell. It doesn't matter if you pull somebody off the street and they're just saying, hey, man, this is like the best thing ever. You want to buy it? If it's an awesome offer, then you don't have to be that good at sales. So boom, irresistible offer wins. What about when the best sales? I mean, everybody has a bad day. Everybody. So the bad days happen. So what happens to the best? Even the best salesperson, they don't do good on that day. But the irresistible offer is just good every day. It doesn't matter what day it is. Doesn't matter if it's raining outside. Doesn't matter, whatever. It's a good offer for that offer. It's a good day for that offer. All right. People take vacations. I just took one. It was great. But your offers can be working for you. While I was gone, my offers were out there working for me. Right? The difference between having an irresistible offer and having an awesome sales thing is, one, the agency will struggle because you got to be attached to it, or two, the agency will scale. Who wants to be on the lap of luxury island with me over there? Right? This is a lifestyle podcast or lifestyle agency. That's what we want. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Now, the big question. This is the big question. How do you create an offer? Quite frankly, when I see people talking about offers in most communities, I see a bunch of ignorant people creating offers that they're excited about. I see people creating offers, or basically they grab things off the top of the shelf and they say, hey, I think, I think they're going to want this. I think they're going to want that. Okay, put this all in. And then they offer it to people and they're like, well, why is nobody buying this? Here are my two favorite quotes in sales. Find out what people want and get them and help them get it. That's number one. And number two, most sales are lost because the salesman presented his product before he knew what motivated his prospect. Harry Brown. Okay. You guys, we don't create offers. We discover them. I want to tell you one of the coolest offers that I ever discovered, by the way. So in 2017, I did a consult for a company called ACRE. Now, they did, like, when they approached me, it was like, hey, we do this real estate financial modeling stuff. I didn't get it. And they said, dude, we show people how to appraise big stuff like this. Because if this is a big condo or apartment, whatever, you don't value this the same as a house. You don't compare it to that thing. It's huge. Okay. And so it's a really big community. And, you know, they wanted to know, they said, Sam, we've got a lot of people that come to our website. Do you think there's a way we could turn all of this traffic that people are coming to our website with or for into some kind of money? And I said, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what you guys do. Let me ask. Okay. So I did. I asked. And here is what all those people want. So we did a survey, a very particular formula, a survey, by the way. And I told them, hey, these guys want you to create this very specific product. That's what they're asking for. And I workshopped it with them and we went through it and I helped them poke holes in things. And I validated the product itself with the comments that came from that very specific survey. And then in January of 2018, we launched that product rather. And in 3 weeks, we did $116,000. All because we asked what people want and then we helped them get it. It sounds pretty simple, right? Would you guys say that that sounds pretty simple? Give me a 1 if that sounds pretty simple. Give me a 1. Okay. Got a couple of simples. All right. Very good. Now, this right here is Daniel Nugent, and he's a part of our agency MVP program. And when it comes to offers, this guy has been in the business for a while. And when he saw what we were doing, this is what he had to say about how we did it.
But it's been great, man. I mean, I never felt like this in my past 4 years of being an entrepreneur and being like a funnel hacker, you know, from ClickFunnels and buying, you know, and picking a new industry and know nothing about it and figuring out their status quo, do research, and then when we launch the offer, it bites. It's just like
When we launched everybody, you guys could hear that, right? Give me one in the chat if you could hear that. Just make sure. Okay. When we launch the offer, it bites. How many of you guys can say the same thing? And when he says it bites, I should say so. In fact, he posted in our community, I burned down my last agency with 200 plus clients and started a new one with a single focus to sell UpHex features. And this is the result since I joined MVP program last month. We booked 550. I've never done that, by the way. Never done that. We've booked 555 qualified demo calls in the last 5 weeks, which is insane amount of demo calls. MVP program gave me so much clarity, a new sub niche to target, research, validated the offer, and go to the market with strategy. Bang. Thank you, Team UpHex. Heather, Jacob, Bradley, Sam. Awesome. Right? I'd say so. This is Gary Benzavanga, and this is my favorite. He will first off, he's my favorite marketer. And he did over billions of converted in direct response marketing. And this is my favorite quote. I tell marketers again and again, a gifted offer beats a gifted pen. How cool is that? So what do you need? What beats and when we say a gifted pen, right? Being able to write fancy words or say fancy words as a salesperson. What beats fancy words? A gifted offer. We tracking? Are you guys tracking right now? Give me a 2 if you're tracking. How cool is this? Right? Give me a 2. There we go. All right. Very good. People are staying awake. I'm not being too busy. Let's keep moving. Secret number 3, the agency hack. Go from agency confusion to agency clarity in weeks. Now, let's go back to the beginning and understand the true nature of agency overwhelm. So you remember all these guys, the 6-month guy, the 7-month guy, and then the guy that was looking to, he was looking for the silver bullet or whatever, right? And then everybody came in and just repeats all this nonsense like, hey, do video marketing. It just has to be 30 seconds. It's like everything is tactics, right? This is all BS, okay? But knowing why it's all BS is by far the most important question you will ever answer. And it is the question that we are going to answer right now. If you guys are ready, give me a 1 in the chat. Give me 1 in the chat. I'm about to show you something that's a little vulnerable for me, but we're going to do it anyway because we're here to help y'all. All right, here we go. With the ones that are rolling in, here we go. From being a kid, that's me right there. My mom made me be in this show choir called Showstoppers. It was the worst, but that was me, true player since day one, just so you guys know. From day one, I knew I was a little bit different. I would look around and I would see other people whose parents were, in corporate America and doing all this stuff. My dad was in corporate America, and I knew that I could not do that. I knew that would suck my soul away, even from just this ripe young age. I don't know how old I was there, probably 8, who knows? But I knew something that had to be different for me. And honestly, you guys, I will tell you this, my entrepreneurial journey has been anything but what you're seeing now. Today, you see a successful version of somebody who's been in the business for 20 plus years. Okay. In 2007, I had my highs. This is me in Mexico fishing with my brother-in-law. We're having a good time. And then in 2009, that's me posing in front of a Christmas tree homeless. And I don't want like the sob story. I'm just telling you the entrepreneurial journey. In 2009, I had to move back in with my parents because being an entrepreneur is not easy. And especially in that time frame, it was really hard.
So Benny.
Guys, please mute. Okay. My entrepreneurial journey, it was both boom and bust. But if I'm honest, it was a lot more bust than it was boom. And I know there's people right here that are feeling bust right now. At this particular moment in time, I know that there are people that are looking at this, that are feeling like this and thinking, man, everything I do is trial and error. Once I feel like I figure something out, something else is going to derail me. Let's see here. I've got some big audio coming. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Sorry about that.
Hey, Sam, there's an option when you join the Zoom to mute everyone on entry. When I jumped in, I didn't realize I was off mute. So I think that's what's happening.
Okay. Thank you. And I think I could have set it up beforehand, but now that we're moving, I don't know that I don't know how to do that. So hopefully we'll be all right. All right. Okay. Back to this. The moment I felt like I'd figured it out, something else would derail me. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? You guys know what I'm talking about because a lot of you live the same thing. But for me, I had a constant reminder that it wasn't just me that was struggling. It was all of the people that counted on me and who deserve more they themselves, right? And I don't know if there's anything worse than that, honestly. It's one thing to feel like you're struggling. It's another completely different thing to feel like you're struggling, but not know what to do. And I felt that way. But in 2014, something changed. And I call it looking through the glass window. So in 2014, I took my youngest daughter to a birthday party. And I was living in Seattle at the time. And I was standing in this older house looking through this wavy glass window. And I was looking to downtown Seattle. And I was just thinking, dude, I suck. Like literally, I was at the end of another failed business. I couldn't make things work. It just sucked. It was terrible. And then all of a sudden, this guy comes up behind me and he taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "Hey, Sam, how you doing?" And his name was Sonny. I said, "Oh, hey, Sonny, how are you?" And he was just telling me, you know, business is good, yada, yada, whatever. And he goes, "Well, how's business for you?" He knew at the time what I did. And I said, "You know, actually, I think I'm going to go start a different business. Didn't work out well with my partner. I think I got to go try something different." He said, "Don't do that." And I said, "This is weird. We don't know each other. Why are you telling me not to do this?" He said, "Don't do that. I have a consulting company and I need help. And if you would come and work with me, then I think we could really work well together." And I don't know, you guys. I don't know if sometimes you guys feel like it's a mortifati, right? Like things just happen and it's just supposed to happen. And for me, it was a mortifati. Something just happened. And I said, okay. Without very much thought, I said, okay. And that changed my life. For the next 6 months, this man who became my mentor helped me connect all of these dots. You see, guys, I'd been an entrepreneur for probably 12, 15 years, or maybe not that, 12 years or so at that point in time. And I'd had so many experiences. I'd learned so many things, but all of these dots were all over the place and I couldn't connect them. I couldn't put them in sequence. I couldn't do anything with them. But as soon as I started learning from him, and as soon as he started teaching me laws and principles and rules and sequence and order and just how to do this right, the next 6 months completely changed my life. And honestly, I went from being scared and lacking confidence to feeling bulletproof and like I could do anything really. And since 2015, I have pretty much been batting at 1,000. Now, that doesn't mean that everything I do is awesome. That's not what that means. But in terms of businesses, I've had no failed businesses. I've been able to build every business. I've been able to figure out every problem. I've been able to, you know, if I'm having a problem with, you know, customer retention, whatever. Okay, great. I got to figure that out. I know the principles to use to figure it out. What changed? There was one thing that for me changed everything, and it was finding a mentor. It was finding a mentor. That for me changed absolutely everything. What do you guys think? What does it take to be a good mentor? What makes a good mentor? Because the moment I say I got lucky, which I did, I didn't tap my shoulder. I didn't approach this guy approached me. I just got lucky. That's okay. But luckily, because of that, I can come here and share a bunch of cool stuff with you guys. I might not be here today were it not for that one decision. What makes a good mentor? Just a couple things. I mean, there's many things, but there's a couple things that I want to focus on. One, they've done what you want to do. They've done it. Both trial and error, they've done it. Number two, they eliminate guesswork. That trial and error, you guys, the most devastating thing you can lose is not just money, it's time, years of your life. That's the hugest advantage that you're going to get from that relationship. And then learning in sequence. Learning in sequence. I cannot tell you what it meant to me to, Sonny would say, I would ask him a question, he'd be like, nope, not today. Remember what Daniel's son did before he learned the crane? He did paint the fence. Remember? Mr. Miyagi was like, no, you got to do this first. Got to do this first. But as soon as he painted the fencing up and his shoulder was hurting, man, it was wax on, wax off. You guys know what I mean? Sequence matters. Don't jump around. Learn the right things, then apply them. And most of all, if we add all of these things together, most of all, I think that the core job of a mentor is to make things simple. And I think only somebody who has done this and who has done what I'm talking about here can make things simple. At the end of the day, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. It is addition by subtraction. It is addition by subtraction. Now, I want to stop and think for just a minute. This is a rhetorical question. What would you achieve if you had a mentor? Just think about it. What would you achieve if you had a mentor? I know what I did. And honestly, that one mentor changed my life. And today, I find myself looking for mentors as well. That's the most important thing that you can learn how to do is look for mentors. All right, let's do a quick recap. The number one cause of agency failure and how to flip the success formula in your favor. What's that niche, right? Sales, 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 how to remove past failure in sales and make sales effortless. What's that? You guys remember? A gifted offer beats a gifted pen, baby. Ask people what they want, then give them that thing. Number three, the agency hack to go from agency confusion to agency clarity in weeks, which is find somebody who's done it and then follow their steps. So here's a couple of big takeaways. These three things that we've just talked about, right? In order for you to build an agency that gets clients, makes money, and that is successful, you're going to need these core things. But these are the things that get zero effort, that get zero attention. Go in the high-level community. Go into any community. See if they're talking about this. They're not. They're not talking about this. But these are the things that will move the needle. These are the hidden, these are the blind spots. And it's the nuance and it's the understanding, and it's the context around these things that's going to change your lives. Let me ask you a question. Has this been valuable so far, you guys? Has this been valuable? Give me one in the chat if this has been valuable. I can see some of you, by the way, which I love seeing. We got Michelle, thank you. Kim, thank you. We got my boy, Gary. Gary, what up, my dog? We got Jeffrey. You guys are the best, right? So we got the ones, the yeses coming in. Awesome. Now, we're not quite at an hour, so this slide is a little off. But I know that a lot of times when we're sitting here, it feels like this. It's like, hey, man, this is a lot. This is a lot. Okay? Well, let me ask you a question. Would you be interested, if there was a way for you to do that, would you be interested in implementing these core mechanisms into your agency with some help? Give me a 1 in the chat if the answer is yes. Give me a 1. There we go. Awesome. Definitely 1. All right. Well, obviously you can't learn to do this stuff in just an hour. That's silly. We can start though. We can start the journey. which is why we created this special offer and this special program just for you. It's all about building your lifestyle agency. Okay. This program is something I call agency MVP, minimum viable product. That is the most simple thing you can sell, the most times you can sell it. Okay. And trust me, that model is the model that nobody talks about, but everybody should be building. It's the one that I built. I had the 7-figure agency, the agency that had over 30 employees, did 7 figures. I mean, you know, seeing over 200 grand of revenue go in your bank account seems pretty awesome. But I tell you what, I'd rather see 60s where the margins are nothing but profit. That's way better. And you got 2 people, they're easy to manage, and you can live a life, and you can go to Hawaii, you can go to Disneyland, you can go to Cancun, all of which I've done in the last month and a half. So let's talk about agency MVP. Now, I brought a couple of my friends around. Okay. We have a couple of MVPers here, and I'm going to ask them to share their experience. Now, I could do like, hey, here's this person's quote, here's this person. But I asked my friends over in our program to come on and just share their experience with y'all. So you guys will get you in just a second. But I want you to understand, I didn't have to put together agency MVP. In fact, I didn't want to put together this stupid program. It's not stupid. I actually really love it, but I have many better things to do with my time. I'm growing a company, which I absolutely love, and is changing the lives of agencies already. But if I didn't step up to do this, knowing what I know and having the background and experience that I have, I felt like I would be a huge ingrate, because I did get lucky, right? So what's included? Obviously, we're going to teach you the things that we've been talking about here today. The proven niche, irresistible offer, mentorship. We got to get you that dialed in, okay? But there's a lot more. There's a lot more involved, okay? So tactically speaking, you're going to need a couple things. We give you a 10-week program. Now, for those of you who are like, man, I can't believe there's 10 whole weeks. Well, then screw you. If you can't sit through a program that is done in sequence, and you want to skip around asking everybody for quick and easy buttons, then probably you're under 20 years old, okay? Or probably 25 years old. If that's you, then this wasn't for you in the first place. If you're still here, then maybe you're ready for a change of heart. Because I got to tell you, for me, it took some time to get things in sequence. And here it's going to take you 10 weeks. Follow the program. Can you go through it faster? Yeah, you can. But go through in sequence. Do not skip around. So there's number 1. There's number 2. We got an awesome community. Okay. Raise your hand if you guys are in the MVP community already. We got, and I know there's not a lot of people that have their cameras on, but we've got our MVPers. There's community there, right? And then I'm tackling things that no one else really wants to handle. So for example, for me to get my first clients, it was not a challenge. I have a way of, like, I have what Sonny calls, my mentor, a high degree of confront, meaning I can talk to anybody and get after it. But some of you need a way to pull people in, not go to them. And so I created a way for you guys to have an awesome sales funnel that just leverages value and is super easy to do, coming to a program near you. All right. So those are some of the tangible deliverables. Mentorship. All right. Isabel, look at you. You're on my screen. Okay. You get access to me via Marco Polo, which is a video texting app. There's my boy, Gary, my 2 favorite people right here on the screen. There they are. Right. We got my boy, Martin. Okay. And we got Daniel. And I could sit here all day long. There's 150 people that have gone through this program so far that I can send you screenshots of. And you can see at the very bottom of this, Isabel will ask me a question and I will give her an answer. Okay. This is a really slick way for me to address whatever niche and nuance is not included in the program and answer your questions and change the program, adapt the program, make the program the very best program that can possibly be in the agency space. Because I don't do anything half-assed. If we're going to do the program, we're going to do it right. All right. We also have group mentorship. Now, for MVPers, this starts next Wednesday. Okay. So you'll come in, and in a group setting, you'll be able to ask questions about what it is that we're doing, and we can help you. We can answer your questions, and maybe we'll even roll out new cool stuff every now and again, which I like to do. So let me go through real quick what you're getting in MVP. Okay. You get training. Okay. How to choose a niche. You get the irresistible offer discovery formula. You get mentorship, both group and with me. That's 2 months via Marco Polo. Okay. You people in the beta get more than that. Total value of $27,000. Honestly, mentorship, if I've built what you want to build, I should take a chunk of equity in your business, shouldn't I? I could. You tell me that I built an agency that kicked ass, and I'm asking to answer your questions about building that same model. If you have some type of thing that you're struggling with, if you just gave me $2,000 just for access there, would it be worth it? Well, I can tell you, I wouldn't do a deal with you unless you gave me equity in your agency. Not at all. So you're also getting agency snapshot. So we give you both an agency snapshot and a sub account snapshot. Now, here's what's interesting to know about these snapshots. They're clean. They're simplified. They're dialed in. Too many snapshots are robust, complicated, and just overbuilt. You guys want to know a little secret about building out your products? Every time you build out a feature, call that a node, N-O-D-E. And every time you add a node or a feature, you add 3 to 4 to 5 points of failure or support. So if I'm offering missed call text back, if I'm offering review automation, if I'm offering whatever it is, run the list down. Now you got to offer some stuff, but if I'm offering everything in the toolbox, how many points of failure are there in your agency? How many SOPs do you have to have? This is the difference between a productized agency and a systemized agency. So when you look at the agency snapshots that we give you, they are a reflection of the agency snapshot I used in my agency to keep things simple and to keep people for a very long time. I promise you, this is the way, not what you've been told. UpHex ads library. Your ad library, making it specific and making sure that it's dialed in is really important. We give you awesome stuff in the UpHex ads library, but we've got some cool tools coming to MVP members that will make it so both your B2B and your B2C will be dialed. And then program admin support. Dude, the person that runs this program, it's not me. I put it together. I engage in there, but the person that runs this program, her name is Heather Kelly. She ran my agency for 4 years. She knows high level. She knows UpHex. She knows agency customers. She knows all of this stuff. So you get basically like the onboarding protocol that we give you. Like you guys want to know how to onboard customers properly? It's included, and she created it. Okay. $52,000, dude. I know a lot of times people put these numbers up here and like inflating it, whatever. Nah. This is by far absolutely worth it. So you guys, but you got to be honest. Like, seriously, there's so many things that are included in this. If all this thing did was help you make an irresistible offer, if you for once learn how to make an irresistible offer, would it be worth it? Okay. If you for once were able to get, hey, I mean, Gary, my boy Gary right there. Gary came in, he did a hilarious post or something, or Marco Polo or something. And he's like, you guys should see my rat's nest of snapshots that he came in with, all this baggage that he came in with. If all we did was say, you know what, get rid of all that and just narrow down on the one thing that works, would it be worth it? If all we did was give you the ability to ask me questions, so the trial and error that you're going through is limited, would it be worth it? And if all you were able to do was get a couple clients using that funnel strategy, using our sales methods, using our advanced Genie pitch deck stuff, would it be worth it? You guys, you can look at the marketplace. People are charging $10,000+ for this kind of crap. I don't want a coaching business. I want awesome agencies using my awesome product and talking about this and changing the world. It's crazy. So with that in mind, I'm going to go to my dude, Gary. Gary, would you mind unmuting and just telling people your experience with MVP?
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on here. And I think that rat's nest of snapshots is an understatement, because I got started in agency space in 2019. No real experience running an agency. So I was accumulating all these skills and tactics. And I think that slide with the little dude connecting the dots kind of explains exactly where I was at, but I didn't have somebody to help me actually connect the dots. So I was in this scenario where I would get a bunch of clients, then lose a few clients, get a few more, lose a few more. And I was in this constant, like, what seemed like a teeter-totter of like trying to scale past 10K or 15K a month, but not being able to, because a lot of it had to do with the lack of clarity and direction. I was working with life coaches. I was working with real estate agents. I was working with chiropractors and dentists and martial arts studios. And it was like, I would take on a client and I would get so bogged down with trying to deliver in the initial setup, and then sales would suffer. And I would end up, working with a client 2-3 months. They'd get frustrated, or, they would drag their feet on stuff too. It wasn't just me. But then they would quit and move on. And then I'd have to like scramble to get clients to get things going again. So when MVP was kind of so graciously put in front of us, I was like, damn, like this is exactly what I'm looking for. One of my mentors taught me like simplify to multiply. And when you were originally talking about the beta of this program, that's what really rang true for me, because everything was just so complex, like just very, very complicated at its core. And I remember in the first couple weeks of MVP, there was like a slight shift that happened very early on. And I shared the results in the group, but like that one little tweak that I learned in those first 2 weeks, and it was just about like really getting narrow on your sub niche, which I'd heard over and over, but I didn't really understand why. Like I battled with it mentally. And the way you put it finally landed for me. And I just said, to heck with it. I'm going to just go in on this sub niche idea, put an offer out, ran some ads, and I closed like 4 clients within a week. Now, at that point, we hadn't even gone into the offer yet, but the offer was kind of born out of doing the initial work. And I'm actually very, very grateful for having been in that beta program where we could only get a week at a time. Like it was being delivered as we were going through. And that's the biggest thing I would recommend to anyone who, is looking at this, like take it very seriously, because usually when I buy a course, I'll go and I'll look at all the content and be like, all right, there's like 10 weeks or 10 modules, and there's like 45 videos. If I really just like plow through it, I could get it done in a day or two, or, a week. Don't do that here. You're going to sell yourself short. Take it bit by bit in sequence, like Sam mentioned, and apply what you're doing as you're going through it, because I've invested a lot in like mentors and coaches and programs over the years. And I mean, I'm talking to the tunes of hundreds of thousands of dollars invested, and they all failed to do the back end stuff that you learn in the first few weeks of MVP. So I would treat it as if it's a drip feed of these courses, and treat each week like a week, and really pour yourself into it. I have a clarity and a purpose and a direction that I've never had in my agency before. And from that, a confidence, more than just a confidence, it's like a knowing that I'm going someplace that I thought was like, way up there, but it's very within reach now. So thank you so much for allowing me to share. If you have any questions, anyone that's on here, if you have questions about the program, you want to get more intimate conversation, you can reach out to me on social media. I'm an open book.
That's awesome, Gary. You're the man, buddy. Appreciate you. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff, you mind? Jeff is another MVPer. You mind unmuting real quick and Jeff's only been in for a couple of weeks now. So go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, so before MVP, I came in with no agency experience. I came in with an idea of what I wanted to do. And one of the first modules is doing the research work. It's the least fun, the most tedious, but it would quickly prove to be the most valuable work. But I dove into it, I did it, and quickly became aware that what I wanted to do wasn't any part of what my market wanted or needed. So after going through the research, I was able to find a very visible problem in the market that needed to be solved. I can't imagine the time and headache and money that I just totally bypassed. I saved myself just by following the module and completing the research. So I completed the research, came up with a path forward, and then even since then, I've been thinking about the work and what I did and what I came up with. And to a degree, I think, it's possible I just did C grade work, and I got to go back through the research now with, be a second time or just strengthening that muscle. And if I did it again, I honestly can't even imagine what I could come up with if if you get really good at looking at these things from different points and different angles from doing. I mean, it sucks. It's not the fun part about it, but you quickly become, it quickly became apparent that what I wanted had nothing to do with it. Wouldn't have been able to sell it, wouldn't have been able to get, that would have just sucked, so once you do the research the way that you kind of show how to go through everything, and it is tedious, but man, it will save you so much headache, money. Like I can't even imagine it.
It's the difference between, thank you so much, Jeffrey. It's the difference between months to years. Like you're talking like years, right? And I know that because in my own story, you guys, I embellished nothing of that story. In fact, I left out so many dirty details in terms of how much it sucked. But you can bypass all that. You don't have to do that. And last one, I don't know, Isabel, are you still on here? I saw you with your mic on a second ago.
Yeah, I'm here.
I would love, Isabel, for you to share your experience. And I'll tell you this. Isabel is younger in our program in terms of like age, and I think because I'm older, I attract a lot of the older people, which is totally fine. But she came in with a ton of hustle, and she came to our meetings like this and other meetings. She was asking really good questions, and she's asking great questions. She's going to be huge. She's going to be an agency star. So Isabel, how's been, tell everybody about your experience so far.
Well, thanks for saying that. Yeah. So I discovered Sam actually on YouTube a few months ago, and I was just like sucking up his content. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's awesome. I joined UpHex. I jumped on the calls, and there was just so much value just like in the calls that obviously I was like, if he's providing this much value to me without any of my money, like I can't imagine what he has to offer in like this paid mentored program. So it was also like just the idea of the simplification of my business, because I didn't really have like a roadmap. I was kind of a new agency owner. My brother is my business partner, and we didn't really have like a roadmap, I guess. So this being my second business, I knew that having a mentor was like just so necessary. I am just kind of picky about like what person I choose to invest my money into to like learn from. So that's kind of where I I joined the calls. I wanted to see what kind of value I was getting. And honestly, Sam and his team, like Bradley, Heather, Jacob, they're all so, number one, just friendly. They're accommodating. They are so happy to answer all of your questions, which like I just love that. I love the environment that you have like built. So that really attracted me to join MVP. And then, yeah, I think the learning in sequence thing too was really big for me because we didn't really know where to start. We were just kind of going for it, and there was so much trial and error. And I was finally like, why are we wasting so much time? I know that mentors are important. Let's join this. And I think literally in week 1, I remember sitting in the airport just like listening to week 1, and I got so excited. Me and my brother always text back and forth. He's my business partner, and I'm like, oh my God, week 1 is incredible. I feel like we've already like got our money's worth. There's so much to think about. And then you can just consume the content, think about it, apply it, and then move forward, which I love that this program enables you to do that because you can move forward when you're ready to. So yeah, I just think this has been awesome and a complete game changer for my business.
That's awesome. You're awesome. You guys look out for her. She's going to be a real force in the agency space. She'll be a case study for UpHex, no doubt. And she's going to, I feel like I can recognize what people are going to do. And sometimes I can feel like, I'm like, oh, that guy's going to lose. And then sometimes I'm like, ooh, that person is special. So watch out for her. I will say, just in general, men, be more like these women. And what I mean by that is you don't have to do everything yourself. You don't have to like keep learning things the hard way. And I'm not like chastising you. I'm speaking to me, right? Lisa came into our program a week ago. She's asking great questions. I just think that women are like more teachable, and you can learn from that. By the way, in this conference yesterday, I learned one really important thing that I think everybody should remember. By the time you are age 35, your brain plasticity is basically non-existent. And so 95% of your behavior is subconscious. Even the decision to buy today, because I'm going to show you how to buy today. But your decision to buy today is going to be highly influenced by your impulses and your reactions. If you want to have a dramatic change, if you actually want to build a lifestyle agency, an agency that doesn't have a ton of overhead, that optimizes for simplicity, that optimizes for profit margins, this is for you. Okay? It's for you. So let's keep going. We're almost done. I promise. Shad, I see you, buddy. I got you. Okay. I had 2 choices when I was going to do this. And quite frankly, I was going to, when I first rolled this out, you ask anybody that got that first video from me, I was going to price this thing as a high ticket thing because of what it is and what I believe it will be. And quite frankly, what we're charging devalues what it does. That's the only reason I want to change the price. Not because I want to make more money, but because I want people to see that this thing is worth 5, 10, 15 grand. And it is. In fact, I had somebody say, hey, can you just jack up the price? It was kind of weird. Like, can you just jack up the price because I want to, like, this thing is worth more money. I don't understand. Drew, you're my man. But anyway, second option, make this program affordable for anybody and be able to help more people. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So I don't know. Will I go to 5 grand? I'm not sure, but right now it's not 5 grand. 5 grand. It's just $2,000. Okay. And if you want it, you can go to myagencymvp.com/checkout. Now, before you do that, you can open a tab in another browser. You can pay the $2,000. There are finance options there. If you're in the US, I think it's Acuity, or I can't remember. There's options there to finance if you want to. But I want you guys to understand this. I'm a customer for stuff too. And you guys have heard me talk about my other services that I've offered and how I did that. So guess what? This is the decide from the inside guarantee. How many of you guys have seen me do this guarantee? Okay. This is the guarantee that I can make you so that your money is at 0 risk. Right now, unless you're an MVP, all the MVPers, they know, but you can't make a fully informed decision from the outside of MVP. You can only make that decision of whether or not this is actually worth it and whether or not these are all paid plant actors that we've had here on the website, on the webinar today. You can only make that choice from the inside. So when you buy agency MVP, you buy with absolute confidence, because if you're not happy, I am not happy. Okay. Want your money back? I'll give it to you. I ain't in this to make money off of people that aren't trying to do it, that aren't the right fit, that can't do it anyway. Okay. And today, the first 5 people who purchase are going to get something very special. I'm not telling you what it is. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Action takers win. I guarantee you it is worth the entire price of the program. So you can buy it. You don't have to. I don't care. You do what you want to do. Okay. But that's how you're going to do it. All right. This month, $2,000 financing options are available. You can go to myagencymvp.com/checkout. I wish I could copy and paste that thing. And maybe somebody could put, maybe a helper, because I don't have Heather here right now. She's doing something. Maybe a helper could put the URL in the chat and be like super duper helpful. Can I pay again? Gary, dude, you want to give me some money, bro? Let's go. Just kidding. All right. So for the next 14 minutes, I'm putting a clock on. Kimberly, thank you so much. And let me just click the link just to double check. If you guys want to ask any questions, feel free. Yep, that's right. So when you go to that page, you'll click on the access today. Okay. And it will pull up a Stripe. Come on. And then you can use this for financing if you want to. You can pay without link if you don't want to. If you just want to pay with a credit card, totally fine as well. So let me go back to this bad boy. All right, we got 14 minutes on the clock. And if you don't need the 14 minutes, if you want to just go over and buy, then absolutely, the first 5 people are going to get a special deal. And I'm going to tell you, by the way, how to claim that as soon as the timer runs out. Let me see if there's any questions. Do we got any questions? And sometimes I'm just so amazing on these that people don't have questions. Like they're like, oh my gosh. So I got you. What are the synergies with UpHex? Well, the agency model that I'm teaching you is UpHex. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you 2 things. Number 1, I'm going to tell you how to build the agency model that I remember what I said about mentors. I've done this. So I'm going to show you how I did it. Now, there are people in MVP that are using the exact same principles, snapshots and everything, and they're rolling out models where they lead with something else and then they have UpHex on the back end. But absolutely, the synergies. I mean, dude, you guys, last year, 30%, 1 out of 3 SaaSpreneur awards went to UpHex people. Do you think it's a proven model? Yeah. I mean, if I got guys like Frank Kern, Perry Belcher, I went to a conference this weekend. They're like, oh, UpHex guy. You know, it's freaking awesome. So yes, it's going to revolve around that. What other costs are needed to get going like upheld? I'm guessing you meant UpHex. Are we running ads for clients? Go high level. After the 2K, what kind of budget is needed to go fast? This is actually a really good question. So I think there's good, better, best. With client acquisition, I think you should get your first couple customers without ads. I think you should join groups. I think you should make connections. I think you should DM people. I think you should do cold email outreach. I think you should do all the organic things first that are free to validate your offer before you use paid ads. Because if you go in that sequence, you'll feel really confident running ads. Now, I don't think Gary did any cold prospecting because Gary's been in the agency business for 4 years. So he's like, oh, cool, I'm learning this. I apply, boom, here we go. But if you're new, one of the things that you're going to be nervous about is spending money on those ads. Well, don't spend money in the ads. Let what we teach you, the cold prospecting, the organic stuff, let what we teach you in the program be how you fund it. And then you can acquire the customers. Kim is in. You're the man, Kim. And I don't have like a live feed, but I'm guessing, I don't know who the first 5 people are, but I'm going to tell you what to do in just a second, Kim. So don't leave, please. All right. What else? What are the, okay, I answered that. what other questions do we got? What other questions? Any other questions? And I know we got a few folks here. I know we got people that are buying. That's totally fine. And maybe I just was so amazing. Signed up. Is the program self-paced and open-ended? Yes and yes. So here is how it works. Number one, and I think it was either Isabel or Gary who was saying it. The program is structured in sequence, and it's by week. So I broke it up. Week one you do this, week one you do that, and we tried not to jam pack too much into those weeks. But if it takes you 2 weeks to do one of the modules because it doesn't matter what the reason is, then that's fine. But it is meant to be taken in sequence. Just don't bounce around. And the only thing that is limited is access to me via Marco Polo. So that's 2 months. Okay. You can access me via Marco Polo for 2 months. Now you will be in a Marco Polo group for forever. And that group, I send stuff individually to that group. Like I send a bunch of stuff, like takeaways from the seminar I went to my, to our existing members in there. But in terms of sending me and getting your question answers, it's 2 months. But the group meetings are forever. All right. Good questions. Is access for 10 weeks long? Access is lifetime. Do I need to know how to run ads? You're going to learn. You're going to learn. I mean, why run an agency if you can't run ads, baby? Let's go. And by the way, people who are like, well, people say that you can go sell a missed call text pack, or you can go sell this, you can go sell that. I have my thoughts on it, but not really. So, I mean, the social media marketing thing, the whole agency game came as a result of SMMA, social media marketing, right? So there you go. That's what I think. All right, Jen, you're out of here. Awesome. Thanks for coming. What other questions do we have? Any other questions? And if you guys want to unmute, now would be the time to unmute. That's totally okay. And if we don't have questions, we can go to the final screen and next steps for everybody who did purchase. So I know Kim at least purchased, so we're good there. So do you have the link for the to pay out of USA people? So there should be. Now, Martin, I'm going to give you instructions as well, and I'll just give them to you now. If you're out of country and you need to finance, we're working on a cart to be able to do that. So please email me, sam@uphex.com, sam@uphex.com. And as soon as that cart is ready, I'll send it to you. Depending on what country you're in, you should have the Stripe, like either link or whatever they give you there, available to you. All right. Hopefully that helps, but shoot me an email and I'll make sure that you get the checkout page. What else we got, you guys? Again, satisfaction, 100% money back guarantee. You are out $0. If it sucks. So the only reason that you would not buy it is if you didn't want it. And if you didn't want it, I'm not sure why you're still here. But okay, email sent. James, my man. All right. Awesome. James is in. All right. What else we got, you guys? What else we got? I got some time, and some of my MVPers are sending me Marco Polos, which is fun. If we don't have any more questions, I'm happy to go to the next screen. You guys, are you good to go? Are we done? Give me a 1 if you're ready to go to the next screen. Let me know. We can go to the next screen. Okay, we got one. You know what? I actually kind of do appreciate that. At some point in time, it's like, hey, my questions are answered. What do we need to do? All right. So, first off, congratulations to all of you new MVPers. So here's what's going to happen. Number 1, you will send me an email, sam@uphex.com, with proof of purchase. Now, if you didn't take a screenshot, just say, yes, I purchased, and we'll look you up, and it's fine. If you did, just take a screenshot of it, email it to me, then I don't have to contact my team. As soon as you do that, I will give you access to the agency program, and then I will invite you into the Marco Polo channel. And the Marco Polo channel, I'll give you a nice, cool little orientation / introduction through that video, show you how to work it, and then you are off and running. Cool. So send me an email Let me know that you purchased. sam@uphex.com. Everybody got that email before we jump out of here, before I jump to the next screen, because there is one more screen, and the offer ends at Sunday at midnight. Okay. I only take 20 people through in cohorts every month. Okay. Sometimes I take more. Just depends on, like, we have a wait list of people that are trying to get in that may not be here. So I'll take 20 to 30 people in. But from here, we're taking 20 people. Okay. And so the offer ends by then, and then we'll take everybody through and off we go until we open it back up again in, I guess it's August, which is next month. You guys, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate all of you. This has been a great workshop for me. I hope you guys have gotten value from it. Everybody in MVP that came, thank you for coming, and everybody else, much love. Hope you had a good experience, and we will see you on the next webinar.